I'm testing out the Voopeak TC08 integrated solar trail camera. And it's really a nice trail camera. I like it a lot. And as always, I'll show you some examples of videos and pictures taken with it. First off, it's compact and it has a nice integrated solar panel here on top. It also has battery backup. It has an internal lithium battery charged by the sun when it's outside. When you first put it into service, you want to go ahead and charge it up with the USB cable until it's fully charged. And then after that, the sun will take over. And then it has a 4 AA battery backup. I use Amazon AA batteries. I've had pretty good luck with them. I'm not really that much into buying batteries anymore. This is just a backup. This primarily uses the internal solar charged lithium battery. If you were to run down the solar charged lithium batteries, then the AA's would take over as a backup. It's got one lens. And side PIR sensors. And one of the nice things about this is it has a PIR interval of 5 seconds. Most of the cameras have 10 seconds. So what that means is once one video or a picture finishes, there's only a 5-second delay before the next trigger. So it gives you a chance to get a little more fast action. One of the new things that the Voopeak TC08 has that the new TC22 also has is what they call auto lengthen the video. Turn that on, and what that means is if there's action going on when your video would normally end at 60 seconds, say you had it set at 60 seconds and it's going to end, if it's still detecting motion at that time, it will just continue to film the video until the motion stops. So I really like that feature. It comes in a lot handy because sometimes you'll have something really interesting going on and your 60 seconds will be up and then there'll be a 5 or 10 second gap and then the next video will start and you'll miss something really interesting. So I like to leave that on. It comes with a strap mount and then the pretty much the traditional metal mount that comes with it. Now in this case, it doesn't have a tripod mount on the bottom. It has a tripod mount in the back. For comparison, this is the TC22 that's also a very nice camera that I've tested recently. And you can see the compactness of the TC08. Now the TC22 has a few more bells and whistles with the night and day lenses, a dedicated starlight lens for the nighttime. And you can also do an external charge in addition to the TC22 solar panel. It doesn't have the battery backup like the TC08, but it does have a slot for another external power supply if you're so inclined. The TC8 packs a lot in a small package. Quality of the video is probably superior on the TC22, if that's the most important thing if you're doing really close-up work like I do sometimes. But really you can't go wrong buying either one of these, either the TC08 or the TC22. Now, it's not really a problem for me having the tripod socket on the back. If you're actually using it on a tripod, you can just rotate your tripod at 90 degrees. If you've been watching my channel, you see some pretty amazing videos I get down at eye level with birds and animals. And this is one of my homemade mounts right here. Just a 2x6 piece of treated lumber with a tripod socket here for the bottom and one here for the side. You know, put it on like that, and you've got it just about, you've got the camera about 8 inches off the ground. You just put a stone here. I actually put this sometimes in the stream. If you see some of those amazing stream videos I have, this is one of the ways I do that, is actually put the camera right down at ground level and you get some pretty amazing shots. So there's a lot of different ways to mount this in addition to just mounting it to a tree. And it has room for a cable lock and a little lock here. The other thing that about this is it uses a micro SD card. I personally prefer the standard size SD cards because they're easier to deal with out in the woods. But you know, the micro SD, you just have to remember to be a little careful when you pop it in and out. Don't you drop it on the ground with a bunch of leaves and you say, now where did that thing go? So, but you know, that's just one thing to think about is the micro SD card. But I don't have a problem with it. You just have to be careful with it. Now, as far as the menu goes, you can just push the down arrow and get an update on the AA battery power right off the bat. That's kind of nice. And you can see that the internal lithium batteries are at 100%. it's going to use those internal batteries first before it uses the AA battery backup. And so in that case, if you go for a number of days without any sun at all, you'll still be able to catch the action. And then when the sun comes back up, it can recharge it. Now, I've tested out a TC08 by Campark about a year and a half or so ago. Basically, Voopeak and Campark are the same brand, same company, and make the same great trail cameras. It's just that some of the newer cameras that are coming out are branded under Voopeak. The new Voopeak TC08 has better 4K video quality and increased photo resolution compared to the earlier Campark TC08 I tested well over a year ago. And here are some examples. Video bitrate is what really determines video quality. On the new TC08, the video bitrate at 4K has increased from 3.3 kilobytes per second to a very respectable 16 kilobytes per second, which is a really significant increase. Previously, the 2K video had the highest bitrate. By comparison, the Voopeak TC22 has a great 4K video bitrate of 32 kilobytes per second. These high video bit rates are important if you want close-up detail or you want to crop in on your videos for reels and shorts, for example, without making them excessively noisy or blurry. And the bit rate is the same for night and day. The results at night are very good, but of course night vision is filmed at a higher ISO at 30 frames per second than daytime, and so is inherently grainier than the daytime videos when cropped way in. The results with the new Voopeak TC08 are quite good. So this is where you review your shots and you go into the menu, and it's pretty much the same as most Campark cameras and Voopeak cameras. You have a capture mode, a trigger mode, and it does do time lapses, and that's actually kind of fun sometimes. But nice thing, as I said, you can get it down to a 5-second interval between detections, which is nice. Sensitivity setting, loop recording, which just means that it'll overwrite the data if the card fills up. Now, I don't usually turn that off. I'm going to try and get it before it fills up. And again, it'll take a 128 gigabyte card, so that's a lot of data. I shoot mostly video, which does use a lot of data. And also a lot of battery. So if you're shooting a lot of videos at night, you're definitely going to run down your battery. That's just the nature of the beast. Now, it has a fill light intensity here, which is kind of nice. And I have that set on auto for now. And you can turn the side sensors off and on. I don't see any real reason to ever turn those off. And then your image mode and how many pictures you want to take. You can take up to 10 photos with each burst. So it'll get a detection, it'll take a 10 photo burst, and then in 5 seconds it'll take another burst if there's still action. Shutter speed is set at the max of 130, and that's a balance between at night, especially with light. Obviously the faster the shutter speed, you're going to get less blurry videos. If something's moving really fast when you take a picture at 1/30th of a second, sometimes that's where you get some of that motion blur. But very few cameras have a shutter speed faster than that, because you also need to get enough light in there to get a good picture. Video resolution, it does 4K at 30 frames per second and 2K at 30 frames per second, 1296, 1080. And you can set the video length, and the video length will go up to 3 minutes, which is something you don't want to do very often unless you absolutely know that you're going to have something that's going to hang around in front of your camera, because what will happen is that the action will be over and it'll keep on recording for a long time, and then it'll just wear out your battery. So I usually set mine at 60 seconds, and especially with the 5-second trigger gap between triggers, it works out just fine. And just the general settings, the format, you want to always format a new card in your new camera and start with a freshly formatted card. You can turn the date stamp off and on and turn the beep off and on. I usually turn the beep off because that gets tiring after a while. Pretty straightforward as far as the menu goes. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on and show you the app. The one thing that I really like about the new Voopeak cameras, both this one, the TC08, and the TC22, is they use a newer app, which the connection and operation of on the phone is really a lot more reliable and easier than the older apps. Then we'll set the TC08 up to look at the chipmunk here, and I'm going to turn on the Wildlife Cam app. And you can see this already has a TC08 that I tested earlier, and then a TC21 and TC22, TC6, and now the TC08 by Voopeak, which I just added. It's real simple to add. Now when you do this, you want to make sure you turn your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on first, and then you just simply touch it on your app, and then it connects. And there you can see it's connected, and we can see Mr. Chipmunk there. The minimum clear focus with this camera is probably about unmodified. You know, a lot of times I'll add a close-up lens to the, if I'm really looking to get at something really close up, like a bird or something like that. But just in general use and really good quality here, and 18 inches is, you know, for sure to get good quality. So you can see there I'm back about, I think it's about a foot from the nose of the chipmunk there, so you can get an idea of the quality. So if you bring it too close, you know, there's a minimum focus distance, it's going to be a little blurry. So now most people, of course, are going to be using this for, you know, larger scale surveillance of wildlife and security, and it's just awesome for that. Really good quality video and photos, and also really good sound. And sound is really important to me. And so the app is real easy. You can review the pictures and videos that you've taken on here without opening up the camera and taking the disc out and putting it into a laptop or something like that. And you can use it, the live view of it here, obviously, for setting it up and making sure you got it covering the area you want and that it's in the right focus for what you want. And then you can change all the settings here. Pretty much the same menu settings, the most important menu settings that I've already shown you. The Wildlife Cam app works really good with the TC08. I think I have about 100% connection rate, and it usually takes anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds for it to connect and you can review it. In summary, what I really like about the TC08 is its reliability, its picture and video quality, and its sound quality, and its compactness with the integrated integrated lithium battery. Charge this up for 10 or 12 hours before you put it into use. You know, 4 battery backup. You can just see it just basically fits in the palm of your hand. If you're looking for something a little bigger with maybe a little more sophistication to it, the TC22 is a possibility. But again, the TC22 doesn't use any batteries at all. And I've kind of gotten out of the habit of using batteries. And so this is a very low battery usage camera. Has the tripod mount in the back, which is not a problem. Either turn your tripod at 90 degrees, or in this case, your mounting bracket at 90 degrees. And it comes with a strap mount. The menu is really easy to use. I find the triggering to be real reliable, and the app that you connect it with is real reliable. So it's a real good, solid, easy to use, compact camera.